What's up, Bulls Nation? It's the Bloody Horns podcast. I'm your host, Justin, here to give you the 5 keys to victory for the Chicago Bulls versus the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. I'm not going to be watching the game tonight. I got tickets to Timberwolves versus Thunder. Excited to watch Ant versus SGA. That's going to be a hell of a battle, but I do have the day off tomorrow, so I'm probably going to rewatch the game in the morning before I record the weekly podcast. It'll be up on Apple and Spotify. So it's a tough game tonight. The Grizzlies, they cannot be taken lightly. I realize their record is dog shit. I realize there's no Ja Morant. There's no Marcus Smart. Derrick Rose is questionable. He hasn't really played much this year. I realize all these things. Still a tough team. Still a scrappy team. You know, they got this GG Jackson guy going off out of nowhere. I've heard people compare him to Amari Stoudemire. I haven't watched him play yet with the Grizzlies, so I got to tap into that, see what's going on with that. But they're a tough team, scrappy team. That game against the Timberwolves the other night, they were up for most of that first half. So this team can't be taken lightly, and the Chicago Bulls, we have a propensity to take our opponents lightly. So we need these keys tonight just to come out and fight this team. Key number 1, I need Vooch playing like he did the other night against Toronto. He only had 2 3-point attempts. Granted, he missed both of them badly, but they were within the flow of the offense. He didn't force them. He was getting his from an efficient spot, which is that mid-range for him. So under 2 3-point attempts for Vooch tonight. That game against Toronto, I counted. He was 5 of 5 in pick and pop situations from about 16 feet. So that's where I need to see Vooch getting his offense from. I had that podcast over the weekend. It's up on Apple or Spotify last week where I broke down how per his volume at his position, Vooch is the least efficient center from the 3-point range. So, and that's including, you know, the actual 3-point shooting. That's including the flow of the offense that comes from those situations, his assist rate from those situations. He's just not very efficient from the 3-point line as a player. So Vooch, get yours in the mid-range game tonight, under 2 3-point attempts. Key number 2, Coby White. I need at least 15 shots from you tonight. You know, we got no Zach LaVine. That ankle is going to keep him out 1, maybe 2 weeks. It's a chance for Coby to keep cooking. You know, he looked good against Toronto. He had 19 shots. He was very aggressive. I need that kind of game again from him tonight. 15-plus shots from Coby White tonight. Key number 3 ties into Zach LaVine being out again. Patrick Williams, I need you playing at least 30 minutes tonight. You know, Billy Donovan's got to really rely on Patrick a little more. We saw that December stretch when Pat was getting good run, good opportunity, put up about 15 a game with 6 rebounds on good shooting splits. Hopefully, Zach LaVine out for 2 weeks here. We can get Patrick Williams back into that kind of flow, back into that kind of aggression. Key number 4, Andre Drummond, I need you playing at least 15 minutes tonight. It's one of the ways in that podcast that I broke down we can get him more efficient. Vooch is just to rest him more. He's playing about 35 minutes a game. He should be down around 28. Andre Drummond, you know, he's more than good enough to play 15 minutes a night and give Vooch a little bit more rest, especially against this Grizzlies team. He should have a chance to eat inside against the Jaren Jacksons, the Xavier Tillmans, the Santi Aldamas. You know, the Grizzlies are not a big team, so this should be a good matchup for Drummond to get at least 15 minutes of run. And key number 5, we got to run the Grizzlies off that 3-point line. You know, they got Luke Kennard, Santi Aldama. They like to shoot threes, especially Luke Kennard. We can't let him get loose. He's kind of that classic, I hate to say it, he's that classic white guy that torches the Bulls traditionally. So we got to run them off that 3-point line, force them to finish in the rim, force them to create at the rim. So like I said, it's not a game the Chicago Bulls can take lightly by any means, but it is one that they should win. They should start creeping up closer to that 500 mark, keeping that lead when it comes to the standings out east. So game starts at 7 tonight. I'll be watching the replay later on when I get home from the Timberwolves game. Hopefully the Bulls take care of business. I'm going to drop a podcast tomorrow as well. Not quite sure what I'm going to be talking about yet. I'm going to kind of pull you guys on Twitter later, see what you want to hear about. If you guys are not subscribing, please hit subscribe on this video. Trying to grow this following. Recently crossed 700 followers on Twitter, so shout out to all you guys that are following on there. Appreciate the support. If you're not following on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the handle's the same on all of them, at Horns Bloody. Throw me a follow. Let's talk hoops. Let's go Bulls.